There is a specific kind of silence that only happens when 40,000 people realize they've just witnessed a robbery. June 27, 2010. The Free State Stadium, England versus Germany. Frank Lampard strikes the ball from 20 yards out. It's a shot of pure, unadulterated defiance. It hits the crossbar with the force of a car crash, bounces a full yard behind the line, and spins back into the arms of a terrified Manuel Neuer. Every person in that stadium saw it. Every person watching in a London pub or a Berlin beer garden saw it. But the one man whose opinion mattered, referee Jorge Larionda, shook his head. In that moment, football didn't just break, it lost its soul. For a century, FIFA's elite had argued that human error was the game's greatest charm. They called it the beauty of the mistake. But that afternoon, as the replays played on the giant stadium screens for the world to see, that beauty looked a lot like corruption. It looked like a crime. Today, we aren't just looking at highlights. We are opening the cold cases of football history. These are the 7 specific crimes that were so egregious, they forced the most stubborn organization on earth to rewrite the laws of the game, or risk losing the fans forever. If you love the high-octane, heavy metal football of the 2020s, you have to understand that it was born out of a coma. To understand the first crime, we have to look at the 1990 World Cup, a tournament so boring it nearly killed the sport's global expansion. Defenders had discovered a loophole that was effectively a legal cheat code. Anytime a striker got close, the defender simply tapped the ball back to his goalkeeper. And back then, the keeper could pick it up. Every single time. It was tactical hostage-taking. During Ireland versus Egypt, the ball was held by goalkeepers for a combined 10 minutes. No dribbling, no shooting, just a man in a neon jersey bouncing a ball while the clock ticked toward a goalless draw. The crime was boredom. The victim was the fan. FIFA realized that if the game didn't speed up, the American market they craved would never buy in. In 1992, they dropped the hammer, the back-pass rule. Suddenly, keepers had to be ball players. It was a massacre for the old-school keepers who couldn't kick, but it gave us the modern era of the sweeper keeper. The crime of boredom was solved by a stroke of a pen. But boredom is one thing. Blood is another. July 8, 1982. France versus West Germany. The assault in Seville. Patrick Battiston is sprinting toward history. He's about to put France in the World Cup final. And then, the monster appears. Harald Schumacher, the German keeper, doesn't jump for the ball. He doesn't even look at it. He turns his body into a weapon and launches himself into Battiston's face. The collision was so violent that Michel Platini, standing yards away, thought Battiston was dead. 3 teeth were found on the grass. His vertebrae were cracked. He was in a coma before his body hit the turf. And the referee, Charles Corver, simply pointed for a goal kick. No foul, no card, not even a lecture. Schumacher stood there, chewing gum, completely indifferent to the man he had nearly killed. This was the crime of indifference. The global fury was so primal that it forced FIFA to create the excessive force rule. It redefined what a red card meant. It was the day the pitch stopped being a lawless battlefield and started protecting the players' lives. Have you ever seen a game where the players were the enemies of the fans? June 25, 1982. West Germany versus Austria. A score of 1-0 meant both European giants would go through, and the sensation of the tournament, Algeria, would go home. West Germany scored in the 10th minute. And then, football died. For 80 minutes, neither team tackled. Neither team ran. They passed the ball in circles, occasionally kicking it back to their keepers. It was a non-aggression pact, signed in the blood of fair play. Commentators in Germany told their viewers to turn off the TV. An Austrian fan burned his flag in the stands. Algerian fans threw money at the players, shouting that they had bought the result. It was a 90-minute insult to every person who ever believed in the beautiful game. This was the crime of collusion. Because of this day, FIFA mandated that final group games must be played at exactly the same time. Never again would 2 teams be allowed to negotiate a result while the underdog watched their dreams die in a hotel room. This crime was an art form. It was humiliation disguised as flair. Young Neymar, back at Santos, had mastered a trick that made goalkeepers look like children, the parademia. He would run up to a penalty, get to the ball, and then stop, completely. He would wait for the keeper to commit. He would wait for the keeper to dive into the dirt. And only then, when the goal was empty, would he tap it in. It was cold. It was clinical. And it was deeply unfair. Goalkeepers were being treated like practice cones. They were being robbed of their only defense, timing. FIFA intervened just before the 2010 World Cup. They ruled that once your run-up is complete, you must strike the ball. Skill is allowed, but psychological torture. That was where the law was drawn. It restored the honor of the penalty shootout. We cannot talk about the crimes of football without talking about the hand that reached out from the heavens and cheated. Diego Maradona, 1986. A goal that was so clearly a foul that it became a legend. For decades, FIFA used Maradona as an excuse. They said, look at the drama, look at the debate. This is why we don't need cameras. But then came 2010, the Lampard goal. The difference was that in 1986, the fans only saw the truth on the evening news. In 2010, they saw the truth on their smartphones within seconds. The crime of silence by officials was no longer possible. FIFA was dragged into the era of goal line technology and VAR. The stubbornness of the old guard finally fell to the reality of the 21st century. This is the most haunting chapter. 2020. Raúl Jiménez and David Luiz clash heads in an empty stadium. The sound of the impact echoes like a gunshot. Jiménez is rushed to surgery with a fractured skull. But David Luiz, he's wrapped in a white bandage, blood seeping through the fabric, and sent back out to play. He was dazed. He was at risk of permanent brain damage. But the rules only allowed 3 subs, and his manager didn't want to waste one. The world watched in horror as a man's long-term health was weighed against a tactical sub. This was the crime of negligence. It forced the introduction of concussion substitutes. For the first time, football admitted that a human life was worth more than the sanctity of the 3-substitute limit. The final crime is one we are still fighting today, the heist of time. For years, keepers have been told they can only hold the ball for 6 seconds. But have you ever seen it enforced? No. Keepers like Emi Martinez turned time-wasting into a performance art while the referee watched his watch and did nothing. But as we enter 2026, FIFA is fighting back with countdowns and stricter cards. The heist is finally over. So, where do we go from here? We are entering the era of semi-automated everything. Offside lines drawn by AI in seconds. Chips in the ball that detect a handball before the referee even blinks. Some say it's taking the iconic out of the era. They say the game is becoming too clinical, too digital. But remember the crimes. Remember Battistan's teeth on the grass. Remember Lampard's ghost goal. We aren't making the game perfect. We are making it honest. The question is, do we actually want an honest game, or do we miss the beautiful chaos of the criminals? Football is a game written in the scars of those who were cheated. Every rule change you see today is a monument to a moment where the game failed. We look back at these iconic eras not to judge them, but to understand how we got here. But what about you? Is the game too perfect now? Do you miss the human error, or are we glad the crimes are over? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you love the history of this beautiful game, hit that subscribe button and join the Iconic Era Football channel. We have so many more stories to tell. Until next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.